If Excel conditional formatting isn't working, it usually isn't broken. It's almost always a rule conflict, a data type mismatch, or a range problem hiding in plain sight. The frustrating part is you can stare at the cells for 10 minutes and still miss it. So let's make this practical. You're getting 9 fixes that solve the most common real-world failures, like rules not applying, colors disappearing, or formatting only working on some rows. We'll start with the fastest checks first, then move into the deeper ones, like rule order, stop if true behavior, and formula rules that quietly return the wrong result. As you go, think like a detective. What exactly should trigger the format, and what does Excel think the value is? Once you understand that gap, conditional formatting becomes predictable again. Let's begin with the simplest culprit. Your numbers might not be numbers at all. Next step. Fix number 1 is checking whether your values are stored as text. Conditional formatting depends on comparisons like greater than, less than, or dates being within a range. If a value looks like 100, but is actually the text string 100, Excel won't compare it the way you expect. Same with dates that are really text. A quick mental test is this. If you sort and the order feels weird, or if sum ignores some cells, you likely have text numbers. Common causes are imported CSVs, copied data from web pages, or a leading apostrophe. The fix is to convert the whole column, not just one cell. Use text to columns with no changes, multiply by 1, or use value for numbers and date value for dates. Then recheck the rule. Once the values are truly numeric or true dates, the conditional formatting usually starts working immediately. Next step. Fix number 2 is about hidden spaces and non-printing characters. Conditional formatting can fail when your rule checks for an exact match, like paid, overdue, or yes. If the cell contains paid with a trailing space, Excel sees a different value. This happens a lot with copy-paste from emails, PDFs, or exported systems. Even worse, some spaces aren't normal spaces. They're non-breaking spaces which look identical. The solution is to clean the text before the rule evaluates it. Trim removes extra spaces, clean rows non-printing characters, and substitute can swap non-breaking spaces. A practical approach is to create a helper column that normalizes the text, then base conditional formatting on that cleaned version. It's not glamorous, but it's one of the most reliable ways to stop it-should-match problems. Next step. Fix number 3 is the applies to range. This is the silent killer. Your rule might be perfect, but it's only applied to part of the column, the wrong rows, or a previous selection you forgot about. This often happens after inserting rows, copying formats, or building the rule on one small sample and then expanding the data later. The key idea is simple. Conditional formatting is attached to ranges, not to columns in a conceptual sense. So you need to confirm the rule's applies to covers exactly what you intend. If you want the whole column, set it to the full column range. If you want a table, apply it to the table column. Also watch for multiple applies to blocks for the same rule, which can create gaps. Once the range is correct, you remove a huge source of randomness. Next step. Fix number 4 is rule order and the stop if true setting. Excel evaluates conditional formatting rules from top to bottom. If an early rule applies a format and stop if true is enabled, Excel won't even check the rules below it for those cells. This is great when you design it intentionally, like a priority system, but it's a common reason my other rules stopped working. Another issue is 2 rules formatting the same property, like fill color. The later rule can overwrite the earlier one or vice versa, depending on the setup. The fix is to treat your rules like a decision list. Put the most important conditions first. Use stop if true only when you really want exclusivity. And if you want multiple formats at once, avoid having separate rules fighting over the same fill color. Next step. Fix number 5 is absolute versus relative references in formula-based rules. This is where conditional formatting gets tricky, because the formula is evaluated for every cell in the applies to range. If your formula locks the wrong part with $signs, it can check the wrong row or the wrong column. For example, you might intend to compare each row's value to its own target, but the formula keeps pointing to the first row's target. The fix is to decide what should move and what should stay fixed. If you apply formatting down a column, the row reference usually needs to be relative, like A2, not $2. If you compare to a single threshold cell, that threshold should be absolute, like F$F1. A good habit is to write the formula as if you're writing it for the top left cell of the applies to range. Next step. Fix number 6 is about overlapping rules created by copy-paste. When you copy a formatted cell, Excel can bring conditional formatting rules along for the ride. After a few rounds of copying, you can end up with duplicates, slightly different applies to ranges, and rules that look identical but aren't. The result is inconsistent formatting, slow performance, or rules that randomly stop applying. The fix is to clean up. Remove duplicates and consolidate rules so each logical condition exists once per range. If you need to copy values without copying rules, use paste special and choose values or values in number formats. Also consider using the format painter carefully because it can replicate conditional formatting too. A tidy rule set is not just cleaner, it makes Excel's behavior predictable again. Next step. Fix number 7 is checking for merged cells. Conditional formatting and merged cells have a messy relationship. When cells are merged, Excel treats the merged area as one cell for many operations, but your applies to range might still be defined as multiple cells. That mismatch can cause rules to apply unevenly or not at all, especially with formula-based conditions. Another common issue is that sorting and filtering behave strangely with merged cells, which then affects what you think the rule should be evaluating. The clean fix is to avoid merges in data regions. Use center across selection for a similar visual effect without merging. If you must keep merges for a header area, keep conditional formatting away from those merged blocks. When you remove merges in the data area, conditional formatting becomes far more stable. Next step. Fix number 8 is about calculation mode and volatile formulas. Conditional formatting that depends on formulas can appear stuck if Excel isn't recalculating when you expect. If calculation is set to manual, changes won't update until you force a recalculation. Even in automatic mode, some setups with heavy workbooks, external links, or complex formulas can delay updates. The fix is to confirm calculation is automatic, then trigger a full recalculation when needed. Also be careful with volatile functions like today, now, offset, and indirect. They can make conditional formatting update frequently, which is good for freshness, but can hurt performance. If your rule depends on a date like past due, a helper column that computes a simple true or false can be faster and more reliable than a complex conditional formatting formula. Next step. Now let's cover fix number 9, and it's a big one. Your rule might be correct, but your data is being filtered, sorted, or viewed through a table in a way that changes what you think is being evaluated. In Excel tables, structured references and calculated columns behave consistently, but conditional formatting can still get confusing if the rule was created before the data became a table, or if it references entire columns outside the table. Another trap is using a formula that references a range that moves when you sort, like comparing to a list that isn't anchored. The fix is to align your rule with the structure. If it's a table, apply the rule to the table column and reference the same row context. If it's a normal range, anchor lookup ranges with absolute references. Next step. Before wrapping up, here are a few quick sanity checks that save time when nothing makes sense. First, confirm you're not expecting conditional formatting to override manual formatting in a way it can't. Conditional formatting will display its format, but if multiple rules compete, you may misread the result. Second, check if the workbook is in compatibility mode, because some features behave differently in older formats. Third, consider whether the condition itself is logically true. For example, a rule like cell contains A won't match A if you built a case-sensitive formula using exact. And if you're using color scales or icon sets, remember they depend on numeric distribution. Text values, blanks, and errors can skew the thresholds. When you run these checks, you're basically asking, is Excel evaluating what I think it's evaluating? That mindset prevents most repeat issues. Next step. Let's put this into a simple troubleshooting sequence you can reuse. Step 1. Confirm the trigger value type. Is it a real number, a real date, or clean text? Step 2. Verify applies to covers the full intended range. Step 3. Open the rules list and check order, conflicts, and stop if true. Step 4. If it's a formula rule, rewrite it for the top left cell and audit the dollar signs. Step 5. Remove duplicates caused by copying and consolidate. Step 6. Eliminate merged cells in the data region. Step 7. Confirm recalculation behavior if the rule depends on formulas. And Step 8. Align the rule with tables and sorting. This sequence is fast because it moves from the most common, most invisible problems to the more structural ones. You don't need luck. You need a checklist. Next step. One last tip that makes conditional formatting far easier to maintain. Separate logic from presentation. Instead of building a complicated conditional formatting formula, compute the condition in a helper column. For example, create a column that returns true when an invoice is overdue, or returns a category like high, medium, low. Then your conditional formatting becomes simple rules based on that helper result. This has 3 advantages. It's easier to test, because you can see the true or false directly. It's easier to copy, because the logic lives in normal formulas. And it's often faster, because Excel isn't recalculating heavy logic inside the conditional formatting engine. You won't need this approach for every sheet, but when rules start piling up, it's the difference between a workbook that feels fragile and one that feels solid. Next step, quick recap of the 9 fixes. 1. Convert text numbers and text dates. 2. Remove hidden spaces and odd characters. 3. Fix the applies to range. 4. Set rule order and stop if true intentionally. 5. Correct absolute and relative references in formula rules. 6. Remove duplicate rules created by copying. 7. Avoid merge cells in data areas. 8. Address recalculation and volatile formulas. 9. Align rules with tables, sorting, and anchored ranges. If you run through those in order, conditional formatting problems stop being mysterious. If you want, I can also do a follow-up focused only on formula-based conditional formatting patterns, like highlighting duplicates, row-based comparisons, and dynamic ranges. For now, use the checklist and you'll solve most issues in minutes. If this helped, subscribe for more practical Excel troubleshooting, and comment with your bigger pain point, rule order conflicts, or formula references. Small tweaks compound into massive performance gains. Subscribe to catch the next workflow optimization.